Welcome to Detroit. Let's go, Big D.
You gotta say no Diddy, bro.
As always, I got the lighter and the rhyme. The news is what?
Oh, you just got me with that. Oh, you should have given me a heads up with that one.
Welcome to High Sports. This is episode 4. I know I said episode 5 doing my social media. When I was posting on social media, but it's episode 4. And today we got a good set of sports for you guys. We got the NBA playoffs, which is ongoing. The NFL draft, which I attended this weekend, and it was a lot of fun. And we also have UFL Week 5, and I'm going to get into that later in the show. But me and Deron are going to cover this NBA and the NFL. And Deron, the news is packed.
I got the lighter.
Let's get high. To begin today's episode, we're going to talk about the NFL draft. It was this past weekend. I was there on Thursday when the Bears drafted Caleb #1 overall. Unfortunately, I had to leave due to my friend unableness to stand for a very long period of time, but we're not going to get into that. But it was a record-breaking 6 quarterbacks taken in the first round. Probably the most since, I can't remember right now, but it's been the most since probably 20-something. I don't even know why I mentioned that, but it's 20-something. And we're just going to get into what we think about these first 6 quarterbacks and also what our teams did during the NFL draft in the first 2 rounds, to be specific. But starting with the first quarterback taken off the board, Caleb Williams, what are your thoughts on him? And what do you think the Bears can do to kind of change their stereotypical of them not, developing quarterbacks?
I think with Caleb, first of all, I feel like the Bears, you got 2 good receivers. You got, number 1 already, you got DJ Moore. You got Keenan Allen.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like Caleb is coming into a situation that's totally different from what Justin Fields came in. The offensive line still is a little shaky, but I feel like when you got receivers plus a good running back, it makes it easier on a rookie quarterback because, you can easily hand it off. You got play action to buy himself a little bit more time, but Caleb is special. So I feel like overall, Caleb he'll do all right. I feel like.
Then as for the remainder, the rest of the 5, we have Jaden Daniels went number 2 to Washington. Drake May went number 3 to the Patriots. And in a surprising move, the Falcons pick Michael Penix Jr. with number 8. And that was not well received by most fans. I personally get it, but I want to hear your thoughts on it first, Deron, before I delve into it.
I would say with Michael Penix Jr.
Penix
Jr. Sorry, I don't understand it because he is an older quarterback coming out of college. You just signed brain fart right now. You just signed Kirk Cousins.
Yep.
As I call him, 6 chains because of the chains.
Yeah.
To a new deal. And yeah, he only won 1 playoff game in his career, but through the regular season he's been an outstanding, almost MVP caliber in my opinion. I feel like you get Michael, he's going to sit at least 3 years, so that will push him into his late 20s. Yeah, it will be good for experience, but
right.
I feel like another team could have used him as of right now.
Exactly. It's like, really, I think this really need to be a problem if Kirk Cousins was just a pedestrian, run-of-the-mill, below average quarterback. But in the regular season, he's top 10, borderline top 10, maybe top 5, depending on which game and which, if it's not a primetime game, excuse me.
Yeah.
But when it comes to, we know what makes quarterbacks money, and that's success in the playoffs. Because There's a reason why Patrick Mahomes and Joe Burrow get paid the big dollars, because they proven it.
Exactly.
They proven it. Kirk has not proven it, and I think what this just shows him is the Falcons have a shorter leash on him than what Kirk originally probably thought. I think he might not play this 4 years out of the contract. I think it might be 2 years, and after 2 years, if it's not, let's just say they have great regular season success and they're not doing nothing in the playoffs, I think that's pretty much a good reason to say, hey, we got this talented squad. I don't think we're not going to get any much further than probably a wild card round in Cousins. Let's see if we got a future quarterback superstar in Penix. And I truly believe that's the Falcons' plan, and I'm behind it. I believe it. And excuse me, we're gonna leave Penix right now. I think that was 4 quarterbacks. Number 5 was Bo Nix, taken by 12 to the Broncos. That one is kind of a toss up because it's like that Carson Wentz. I kind of, not in terms of production, but in just terms of that kind of veteran stature, just more older, more seasoned. But it's just kind of and this just go to show you how kind of the Broncos are just desperate for a QB right now. Because I personally probably would have waited to the second round, maybe. But I understand, like I said, it's a quarterback-driven league. If you don't have a quarterback, you don't have a chance. So, with that in mind, we'll see how Bo Nix performs. But other than that, we're just going to move on. But what do you think of Bo Nix before we go on to our teams? Go ahead.
I think with Sean Payton out there in Denver, I think Bo Nix is essentially the heir to Drew Brees. I mean, the guy has, in his last season at Oregon, threw for over 4,000 yards, over 30 touchdowns, over 5 rushing yards.
Yeah.
He's a mobile quarterback with extreme good accuracy on the collegiate level. Granted, the Denver wide receiver core isn't the greatest.
Right. But they got some pieces.
They got some pieces, yeah. But are they life-changing pieces?
No.
I wouldn't say that. But I feel like overall, Bo Nix is... I feel like Denver did a good job by selecting that quarterback because that was the best quarterback, I feel, that was left on the board still at the time.
Okay. And now last but certainly not least, the boy from Michigan University himself, J.J. McCarthy, drafted, one moment, I'm about to look at this pick. Drafted number 10 overall. So, I missed J.J. McCarthy. He was actually drafted before Bo Nix. So, Bo Nix was the last one. Is J.J. McCarthy drafted 10 overall by the Vikings. And, the only thing that was kind of knocking him was because he didn't pass that much in college. And, yeah, I mean, I always can say, you always point like Michigan was a run-dominant team. That's their DNA. I mean, you're blowing niggas out by... When you blowing niggas out by 30, it's like, what's the point of passing? When I'm running the ball, you can't stop me. It's kind of like the Titans with Derrick Henry. It's like Tannehill back when they had Tannehill. It's like we didn't need Tannehill. We just need you to make the throw when we need you to throw. Otherwise, Derrick Henry gonna carry this goddamn ball. Period. Said and done. But what do you think about J.J. McCarthy? And then we're going to go into our teams with the Saints, Chiefs, and the Lions as well for you Michigan fans out there.
See, I feel like with J.J. McCarthy, as you said, the Michigan we're a run-first dominant team. But in the NFL, you need a quarterback you can't run to a Super Bowl. You need your quarterback to take you to a Super Bowl. So that's what my knock on him. I need to see more production. Can you throw the ball into them tight areas? When we need you to make that play, say it's game on the line, 4th and 10, 4th and 5. Can you throw the receiver open? Because this is in college where you throw into an open receiver. Yeah, occasionally guys will get open. You got great talent. That's what separates the greats. But with JJ, can you throw them open? And can you just make the right reads and the right passes at the right time?
Right.
When the running game isn't particular on the level of what you had during the collegiate level.
Exactly. thought, but it just slipped my mind right now. So we're just gonna move on. My Saints drafted Talise Fuaga and with the 14th pick in round 1. Olu was drafted, I believe, maybe 2 or 3 picks ahead to the Jets. That's who I really wanted. JC also was taken like maybe 2 picks after. I really wanted him. So Fuaga was kind of like my third best in terms of, the tackles. Even though it was a top-heavy class, Fuaga was still my third best.
Yeah.
And, it's not, I can't say that we didn't miss, but I'm excited. Everybody says he's pretty much proven. He's ready to start. That's pretty much what I've been hearing from, as my Saints. I watch a lot of Saints podcasts. Well, that's pretty much what I've been hearing. Like, he's ready to start. He's pretty much going to be a great pass blocker, zone blocker, running scheme. Excuse me. And yeah, I'm pretty much excited about that. Figures off at the top. Now, the second round pick. We traded up from 45 to 41 to get Kool-Aid McKinstry. Now, I was saying in the last video that, 2 videos ago, that the Chiefs should probably draft Kool-Aid. I didn't think that he was going to fall to the second round, which he did. My team scoop him up. I'm excited because there's been rumors about Marshawn Lattimore being traded this offseason. So, that it was kind of a pick to kind of ensure that we still have cornerback depth. Paulson Adebo going to be a free agent after this season. So it's kind of a pick that's going to ensure depth, but I will want them to pursue to kind of come in with that secondary, because I would love. I don't know if you're gonna put Kool-Aid in the slot or the outside. I'm not gonna act like I know defense like that, and what we're excited to do. So I'm about to pass somebody to you so you can get into your Chiefs. What the Chiefs did is they traded with the Bills, ironically,
again,
to get up the speedy wide receiver Xavier Worthy. You called it. And in round 2, they drafted BYU offensive tackle Kingsley Samatua. I'm sorry if I butchered that. I apologize. But it's Kingsley Samatua. And Deron, what do you think about your Chiefs' first 2 round picks?
So to speak on Kingsley, offensive tackle, I feel like what we need to do is he's gonna have to play on the right side.
Yeah.
The left side is already, because I can't remember the offensive tackle name.
Orlando Brown, I believe. Yeah. Is it Orlando Brown?
No, it's not Orlando. Orlando Brown went to the Bengals.
Yeah.
He went to the Bengals. He was a second year, but he had too many penalties. Offsides. That's something that needs to be addressed, because I watched a few games where without those offside calls, the game would have been easier. So I feel like Kingsley is someone who can step in and fulfill that role where a rookie's going to make mistakes, but he's going to learn from those mistakes. And when it comes down to playoffs or week 10, week 11, those mistakes will be patched up.
Right.
And to speak on Xavier, well, I mean, I'm going to just keep it short and sweet. Right. We got another Tyreek Hill, in my opinion. So we're going to see how that goes. And that's and people say Xavier how it's just fast.
Right.
I don't think they really watched him at Texas. The route running gets crisp. Yeah, he can shake off defenders with that speed, but also he can control his speed. That's the biggest thing that people don't understand.
That would make Tyreek dangerous.
You can be fast, but can you control your speed? Can you stop on a dime? Can you speed up? Can you run at one pace and then you just burst?
Yep.
So that's what separates him.
Yep. Yeah, it's gonna be an exciting time for Xavier year 1, because I already know probably on the first play it might be a deep bomb to him. It might be a deep bomb to him on the first play of the game of the regular season. But moving on to y'all sweet Lions. And I want to say thanks to the Lions fans, man. I had a good time at the draft day 1. I didn't go day 2 or 3, unfortunately. But day 1, I had a good time. And the Lions fan, I live here, so I know that y'all are good people. But y'all showed out. I appreciate y'all. I love y'all. And good luck this season to y'all. But we're going to get to y'all draft picks. And round 1, y'all drafted another guy from Alabama, Terrion Arnold. And Deron, I've been saying all draft that the Lions could draft a cornerback. That whole day 1, I was telling Lions fans, y'all should draft a quarterback. I thought they was going to get Kool-Aid because I'm going to be honest, I thought Terrion was going to be gone probably between maybe 15 to 20. I thought he was going to be gone 15 to 20, but the Lions saw it, and they also, they traded up. They also traded up to get Terrion. So that's a smart move because really, I believe the Lions, besides the Chiefs, are the most sound teams on offense. Like, y'all got the best offensive line, wide receivers, the weapons is good. Laporta is literally going after Travis Kelce retired. Laporta is going to be the best tight end in the game. Yes, and I'm calling that right now. And so no worries on offense. The problem was defense because y'all gave up a 3-score lead to the 49ers in the NFC Championship game. And I know that little miracle catch by my man's, I can't think of his name right now, Brandon Ayuk. That little miracle catch by my man's kinda, was it's up in the air. But the fact is, y'all allowed it to happen. That's it. Y'all allowed it to happen, Detroit fans. That's it. But I'm excited for you guys this year. Y'all also drafted another cornerback in the second round from Missouri. His name is Ennis Rakestraw Jr. from Missouri. He's also with another highly touted corner. So I'm excited about this new cornerback room that the Lions have. And as far as y'all draft in particular, y'all traded up a lot in this draft, by the way. So, hopefully, just like last year, those picks turn out and show out. And obviously, y'all in the same conference as the Saints, so y'all not going to beat us. But that's another story for another day. And I think this we pretty much covered what we're going to cover for 7-1. And we're going to move to 7-2 in about, however I edit this. But we're going to move to 7-2. All right, guys. This is NBA action. NBA playoffs, baby, and we're live in it. I picked the Lakers and the Celtics, and the Lakers are already gone from round 1, 4-1 to the Nuggets. So my pick is gone. How is your picks doing, Duran?
Right now we're doing pretty good because I picked the Mavericks versus Celtics. So the Celtics did what they needed to do. The Mavericks are on their way to doing what they need to do. So right now my picks are still in there, I would say.
All right. And speaking of the Mavericks, we're going to get into that game from last night. It was a 2-2 series going in. Going into LA, they got that new Crypto.com arena. It's pretty sweet. I honestly think it's probably one of the best arenas, in terms of the NBA. I think it's a pretty sweet arena. But nevertheless, Luka came in and put a 35-piece on them and utterly destroyed them. I think the final score was like 113-83 or something like that, 93.
123-93.
123-93, thanks to Ron for correcting me. And do you think the Clippers can come back from that, man, in Game 6? Going back to Dallas, I want to argue.
So I'm going to go back to Game 5 when the Clippers had Dallas up by 31 and you let them come back in the fourth and take a 1-point lead.
Mm-hmm.
They figured you out.
Mm-hmm.
Come back Game 5, Clippers on their home court.
Yep.
And you lose by 30.
Yep.
Essentially what you had the other team up by, and they came back and you guys couldn't. So Kyrie only had 14 points, but his box plus minus was in double figures when he's off the court and when he wasn't on the court.
Mm-hmm.
Luka dropped 35, 10 and 7. The supporting cast did what they needed to do. I feel like the Clippers are done.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna say that Mavericks move on.
Mavericks move on?
Yes, sir.
Mavericks move on, baby. And I honestly cannot disagree with you on that one. But we got 2 games together, also 3-2. Pacers and Bucks and Pacers and Bucks and was it somebody in the West or somebody in the East?
Pacers, Bucks, Knicks and Sixers. And Magic and Cavaliers.
So all those 3 games are now 3-2. And I'm going to give you all my thoughts on how they're going to finish real quick before I pass it to my homie right here. And first one, Phillies and Celtics. So Phillies and Knicks. Then I honestly thought that the Knicks had the Celtics. I thought they had them dead to rights until Maxey just went nuclear, and until we just found out he traveled. But I don't give a damn. Mm-hmm. Stop him. That's all I say. Stop him.
Stop him.
They don't call that shit anyway. Who gives a fuck? Stop him. But do I think they gonna take it back and win them at home at Philly? I kind of see it. I hate to say I do, but I see Philly taking this 7 games. I see Philly taking this 7 games, and that's gonna. Do I see Jalen Brunson losing the Garden in Game 7? I don't see that. But as far as what I got right now, Game 6, I got the Philly and Pacers and the Bucks. Bucks kind of came alive, I guess you can kind of say, when they was at home, but. And the Pacers are at home, and I just think is Giannis playing? Is Dame playing? Do you know? I don't know. No. So that's a no. It's like the Pacers play better at home. They play way better at home than they do away. So I think the Pacers are going to finish this off, and I think Tyreek's going to have a bounce back game, and they're going to get this done and close out that series 4-2. And it was one more. You said, oh, the Cavs and the Magic. Let's be honest. I'm going to ask you guys, was you watching this series?
I watched Game 3 when Vancouver went for 31-6-5.
I have not watched a game of this series. I have not. I couldn't tell you why, but I just have not. It's not, I couldn't say, it's not, I'm not interested. It's my job. Of course I'm interested. But it's just like, it's a competitive series. I can't really explain why I don't, maybe because they're not covering it or they're not showing it to me. But then, like I said, again, this is my job. So I kind of have to watch it, but it's just not on my radar. But in terms of what I think this series is going to finish off, 3-2. Cavs got a big win in Orlando yesterday. I mean, no, was it at home or the Cavs were at home last week?
The Cavs were at home, yeah.
So so they going to the Magic. I got the Magic, bro. I got the Magic. I got the Magic winning, and I'm gonna think they're gonna take it to Game 7, and Game 7 again is up for grabs. But I think the Cavs gonna give it away at home. Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe. But I got them winning that series. But again, in terms of Game 6 specifically, I got my boys. Paulo, he gonna take this home. The Magic, they gonna tie this series up 3-3. And I think I covered all the games on 3-2. Let's hear your thoughts, homie.
So with the Cavaliers playing the Magic, each home team has won at home. Mm-hmm. No team has won on the opposing team's home court.
All right.
So I think in Game 6, the Magic are going to take the Cavaliers. I think in Game 7, I think Vancouver just going to ascend to the next height, and the Magic are going to take Game 7 in Cleveland. For the Bucks and the Pacers, I think the Pacers are going to take. Well, actually, the Pacers are going to be playing in Milwaukee for Game 6.
Mm-hmm. Wait, all right. No, because it was in Milwaukee last game.
They were?
Yeah, Game 5. Okay, it's 2-2. They go.
Got you. Okay, got you. Okay, got you. Well, okay, in that case, I think I want to say the Pacers will win, but I feel like the Bucks are playing with house money right now. You don't have your two big guns, so it's like, what are we? Everybody is, feeding me.
That is.
But I'm gonna
Chris playing on his mind.
Chris Middleton is. I'm gonna take Halliburton and them boys to go ahead and seal the deal. So for the Knicks series, the Knicks we're going back to the Sixers for Game 6. I feel like Brunson is not going to. I feel like Brunson is not going to let it go to a Game 7.
Right.
They had them in an overtime. You went up 3 in overtime, but I feel like Brunson shooting 8 of the team's 10 shots as a point guard, it just can't cut it.
Right.
It just can't. I feel like Tom Thibodeau is
Mm-hmm.
going to come with the adjustments. Hart and them boys, the supporting cast, along with Jalen Brunson, is going to come with the adjustments that they need.
Yeah.
I'm not going to say Philly just going to roll over and get in the game because they're not.
Right. Mm-hmm.
But I feel like they're going to come with the adjustments. They're going to do what they need to do, and they're going to win the series in 6.
Win the series in 6. But before we leave, I just want to touch on the Nuggets and Nuggets and Timberwolves series. And unfortunately, my Lakers got beat by them 4-1. But as I stated before, when the camera want to be an asshole, again, like the Lakers led most of the time and most of the series. I believed in AD when he said that they had a game plan for him. I believe that. But again, when you just don't got that guy to close out for you, it shows. It shows, and it's going to show every time because everybody knows them last 5 minutes in the fourth quarter are the most important in the NBA. Mm-hmm. Literally. But moving on, man. I got this series, Nuggets Suns 4-2, because I just think defensively the Timberwolves are prepared, and Ant has matured. He's matured, and I think the Nuggets, their number is up, man. Their number is up, and unlike the Lakers, who have no closer, Ant is a closer.
Exactly.
Ant is a closer, and if Ant might not have the ability to that get for a game or that possession, Cat definitely does.
Yes,
that definitely does as well. And I'm excited because I want to see the Nuggets get knocked out. But I want to hear your thoughts on it before we close this segment out and I move on to the UFL. Go ahead.
So I feel like for this series, I'd like to piggyback off with the Lakers versus Nuggets.
Yeah.
2 game winners it took.
Mm-hmm.
Lakers blowing a 20-point lead.
Yep.
Lakers blowing a 14-point lead.
Yep.
So I feel like personally, with Ant-Man is a superstar now.
Mm-hmm.
You have Gobert in the middle.
Yeah.
You have Karl Anthony Towns being able to bring out at least Aaron Gordon to the 3-point line to create that opportunity for Ant-Man to get downhill. Because Joker is not yes, he's 7 foot, but is he really a big defensive presence in the paint? No.
No, definitely not.
So, Mike Conley, do your best to contain Jamal Murray, make it hard. I'm not going to say you're going to stop him.
Right. But
the biggest factor is making it hard on Joker. You make it hard on him with Gobert, then I don't personally believe Jamal Murray can beat you single-handedly himself and take over a series.
Nah.
So I'm going to say the same as you, Timberwolves in 6, and Joker's going home.
Get it up. All right, man. This is pretty much the end for the first 2 segments for High on Sports, episode 4, cuatro, as they say in French. And any remarks or any correspondence you want to say to the audience, Deron, just before you leave today?
I would say subscribe, turn on post notifications. Also, in the comments, leave your picks for the NBA.
Yep.
Leave your picks. Leave your picks for the upcoming 2024-25 NFL season, and leave in the comments also who did your team draft in the NFL draft. Yep. And catch you in the next episode. Peace. This week, the UFL had no competitive games. At the league, at least for this year, it's pretty much top heavy. And that's okay. Some teams are just better than others, like the Stallions, who decimated the Roughnecks. Final score was 32-9. Ricky Person Jr. totaled 3 TDs on the ground, but Adrian Martinez had over 130 yards of their 213 total. Stallions are 5-0 and have won 12 straight since the last USFL season. Next blowout up is the Battlehawks versus Defenders. The Battlehawks have the number 1 offense in the UFL, and the Defenders couldn't stop the onslaught that became 4 touchdowns in the fourth quarter alone. Jordan Ta'amu played his worst game of the season, totaling 3 turnovers in the game, and ultimately ending their impressive home winning streak. We head to Memphis, where it was a contest between the Panthers and the Showboats. Danny Edlins got the start over E.J. Perry and delivered a victory for Michigan. Wes Hills also joined the hat-trick team with Person Jr., 3 touchdowns for over 80 yards, and with 5 yards per carry. Troy Williams played valuably, but an interception in the fourth quarter sealed a 35-18 win.
And finally, the closest game of the UFL weekend, Brahmas versus the Renegades. The Brahmas defense have to once again be dominant because of Quentin Dormany's 3 interceptions, but it's safe to say that the last year's SFL champs will not be the champs of the UFL. Renegades are now 0-5 and have an anemic offense since week 1. Final score was 25-15, San Antonio. Deron already told you what you should do. Comment, like, subscribe. I'm Frederikus Perry, and this smoke session is over.